Why Andy Cohen doesn't like firing Real Housewives stars. What is the exact reason that Andy Cohen does not like to fire Real Housewives stars? He is currently embroiled in drama and lawsuits with alums Leah McSweeney and Brandi Glanville. Caroline Manzo is also suing Bravo as well as its fellow production companies. Then, Bethenny Frankel has been on a mission to take down Bravo for some time now. So there is a lot of drama, but is that the reason why Andy wants to keep Housewives around as long as possible? Keep reading for more details. Why Andy Cohen doesn't like firing Real Housewives stars. The last few years have not been the best when it comes to former housewives. Bethenny Frankel, who was a RHONYOG, praised Andy Cohen and Bravo for launching her career. Then, she rebelled against them and believed that the Bravolevs needed to create a union for themselves. She started to her reality reckoning tour, and soon enough, RHONY alum Leah McSweeney jumped on board. Leah sued Bravo and Andy, alleging they preyed upon her, knowing she had alcohol and mental health problems. Furthermore, she claimed Andy did cocaine with Housewives to give them a better edit. Finally, after Caroline Manzo sued Bravo after alleging Brandi Glanville assaulted her, Brandi came out and turned it on Andy. She claimed he had assaulted her and used her to get men. Since he is gay, some of the male Bravolevs had no interest in him, so he would ask her to hook up with him. Luckily for him, many stars of the network have rushed to his side to praise him and say they have never seen him do anything bad. Now at this point, Andy does not like firing any housewives, and he has very good reasoning. According to In Touch Weekly, he struggles with letting the ladies go because they know too much. An insider shared it is hard to let the old-timers go because they possess a vast amount of insider knowledge. Additionally, proof is in the pudding. Though Bravo has denied this, there is some proof and truth to what the insider is saying. RHONY alum Carol Radziwill has repeatedly called out Andy Cohen since she exited after season 10. Once the Housewives' contracts end, it appears that they either go on and are appreciative or they do not care. For example, when RHONY was rebooted, a handful of fan-favorite cast members were cast on RHUGT. It was called RHUGT RHONY Legacy and starred Ramona Singer, Luann de Lesseps, Sonja Morgan, Kristen Taekman, Kelly Benjamin, and Dorinda Medley. They all seemed grateful and appreciative for their time on the series, and the fans are desperate for them to come back. In the end, Bravo cannot let a few bad apples ruin the whole bunch. Andy Cohen, the charismatic maestro behind the wildly successful Real Housewives franchise, has spent over a decade transforming ordinary women into pop culture icons. Yet behind the glamour, drama, and glittering reunions lies one of the hardest tasks he's had to grapple with: firing a Real Housewives star. It's a job he openly admits to disliking, and for reasons that reveal as much about Cohen's humanity as they do about the intricacies of reality television. At first glance, it might seem counterintuitive. The Real Housewives universe thrives on drama, reinvention, and the occasional shock. Cast changes often stir curiosity and controversy, boosting ratings and sparking social media debates. Yet Cohen's hesitance isn't rooted in ratings or logistics. It's deeply personal. These are real people with real lives, he's often said, acknowledging the emotional toll that casting decisions can have. For Cohen, letting someone go isn't just a strategic pivot. It's a confrontation with the human cost of fame. The emotional weight of goodbyes. One of the primary reasons Cohen dislikes firing housewives is the relationships he builds with them. Over the years, he has developed a reputation as more than just a producer or host. He's a confidant, a therapist, and sometimes even a friend. Many cast members have shared their triumphs and tribulations with him on and off the air. Firing someone often feels like betraying that bond. Cohen's emotional investment becomes evident during reunion specials. These multi-hour marathons are more than just entertainment. They're therapy sessions where Cohen dives into the cast's deepest conflicts, misunderstandings, and vulnerabilities. By the time cameras stop rolling, he's emotionally tethered to these women. To turn around and tell one of them they're no longer part of the show feels, as Cohen has described, like breaking up with someone you care about. This emotional attachment is particularly strong for long-standing cast members. Think of Vicki Gunvalson from The Real Housewives of Orange County, or Nina Leakes from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. These women didn't just appear on the show, they defined it. Letting them go isn't just a casting decision, it's the end of an era. The fallout of fame. Another reason Cohen struggles with firing housewives is the fallout these women face. Joining the franchise often transforms cast members into celebrities overnight. Suddenly, their lives are scrutinized by millions, their mistakes magnified, and their triumphs debated. For many, the show becomes their primary identity and source of income. To lose that platform can feel like a personal and professional unraveling. Cohen understands this better than most. He's witnessed firsthand how the fame machine works and how abruptly it can stop. When a housewife is fired, she's not just losing screen time, she's potentially losing sponsorship deals, public appearances, and the social capital that comes with being a reality TV star. For some, the transition back to real life is jarring and unforgiving. Take Jill Zarin, one of the original cast members of The Real Housewives of New York City. Her departure from the show left her reeling. In interviews, Zarin has been candid about the emotional toll it took, describing feelings of rejection and loss. Cohen has often expressed empathy for this aspect of the process. It's not easy, he's admitted. You're taking away something that has become a huge part of their lives. The business versus the bond. Despite his emotional reservations, Cohen is acutely aware that The Real Housewives is a business. The franchise's longevity depends on its ability to evolve, which often necessitates cast changes. Storylines grow stale, dynamics shift, and audiences crave fresh energy. As much as Cohen might care for individual cast members, he knows that keeping the show's momentum often requires tough decisions. That tension between personal bonds and professional obligations is something Cohen has had to navigate repeatedly. In his book, Most Talkative, he describes agonizing over casting decisions, weighing the impact on the show against the potential harm to the individual. You want to be fair, he writes, but you also have to think about what's best for the show as a whole. This balancing act becomes even more complicated when fan reactions come into play. Social media has given audiences unprecedented access to the casting process, and their opinions are often loud and divided. When a beloved housewife is let go, Cohen is frequently the target of backlash. Fans flood his Instagram comments and Twitter mentions, accusing him of favoritism or poor judgment. While he's learned to weather the criticism, it adds another layer of stress to an already fraught process. The power of redemption. Interestingly, Cohen's reluctance to fire housewives is also tied to his belief in redemption. Over the years, he's seen cast members evolve, grow, and rebuild their images after public missteps. Teresa Giudice's journey on The Real Housewives of New Jersey is a prime example. Despite legal troubles and personal hardships, Giudice has remained a cornerstone of the show, in part because Cohen believed in her ability to turn things around. Cohen's faith in redemption often leads him to give cast members multiple chances before making the difficult decision to part ways. This approach has its critics. Some fans argue that problematic behavior is rewarded rather than addressed. However, for Cohen, it's about recognizing the complexities of human nature. People make mistakes, he said. It's how they handle those mistakes that matters. The personal toll. While Cohen's empathy is one of his strengths, it's also a source of personal stress. Firing housewives isn't just emotionally taxing. It's also mentally exhausting. In interviews, Cohen has described sleepless nights and endless internal debates leading up to casting decisions. You're constantly second-guessing yourself, he's admitted. Did I make the right choice? Could this have gone differently? This internal conflict is compounded by the fact that Cohen is often the face of these decisions, even when they're made collaboratively with producers and network executives. As the public face of the franchise, he's the one who has to deliver the news and manage the fallout, both on screen and off. A legacy of compassion. Ultimately, Cohen's dislike of firing housewives speaks to his broader approach to the franchise. While The Real Housewives is undeniably a business, it's also a platform that has changed lives, launched careers, and created cultural moments. For Cohen, the women who join the cast are more than just reality stars. They're people with stories worth telling. This perspective has shaped the way Cohen runs the franchise and interacts with its cast. It's why he's willing to have difficult conversations, offer support, and even bring back former housewives when the timing feels right. It's also why fans continue to trust him, even when they disagree with his decisions. In a world where reality TV often prioritizes spectacle over substance, Cohen's humanity sets him apart.